Have you ever wanted a very solid ego that applies a status effect that a center just doesn't have the right ID for? Well, if you ever did, you're kinda odd, but AEDD Gregor might just be the ego for you. AEDD Gregor is a He level ego. It has a 22 base and a +5 coin, which is relatively middle of the road for He egos, has 1 attack weight, and before attack you gain 10 charge count, and on hit you do 15 spark discharge. If you're wondering what spark discharge is a status effect which, if you hit somebody with it, then the person who attacks it gains 1 charge count, but if you attack with a gloom skill, then you gain 1 charge count, and you also inflict 1 rupture count on the enemy. But the count reduces by 1 every time the attack hits the enemy. Alternating discharge is the passive, and it does on hit with head coins spend 2 charge count to give 1 charge count to its ally with the lowest charge count. So Gregor, let's say he has 2 charge count, W Corp Sang has 3, W Corp Dawn has 1. Gregor will spend 2 to give W Corp Dawn 1 charge count, which is a fairly solid passive, all things considered. This passive actually helps Gregor because we don't have many Gregor IDs. We only have 1 Gregor ID actually that uses charge, and that ID is not very good. So dispersing charge to your W Corp units is probably the way to go if you're using this ego. This ego will cost 3 Gloom and 3 Envy, which is honestly fairly cheap for the role that it has. Minimum 22, maximum 27, which is pretty solid for 6 resources, I would say. Now, upon corroding, you'll get 24 as the base and a +7 coin, which is fairly bad because if you're corroding on a He ego, you're most likely going to hit tails, but a 24 floor is still pretty good, and your attack weight will become 3. Before attack, gain +10 charge count, the same as 4. On hit, inflict 15 discharge or spark discharge, same as 4, but this time you'll gain +7 charge count, which is fairly nice. As for any He ego, it'll cost 20 sanity, and both the corrosion and the regular version of the ego will do blunt damage. To wrap it up, AEDD is a ego that can be both used by Gregor and Heathcliff. The latter will be discussed later, but AEDD Gregor scores a 9 out of 10 in the drip factor, mainly because I really like Gregor's drip when it comes to him becoming a mad scientist sort of character. Now, coming in as strength, it would be really, really nice if its corrosion just had a negative coin, because it's a He ego, right? When you use it, you're most likely going to get negative coins, especially on corrosion. So, because of that, it knocks it down from like what would be like a 7 to like a 6.5-ish, around there, right? Let's put a 6.5. And its usefulness, it is really useful. A lot of charge gain, a lot of charge gain for your team. Very good. I would say around 8. If you're running the right team and you're running charge and we get Rhino Gregor in the future, which we should, right? I think we should, then I would put it at an 8. But all in all, this ego is great, except for the fact that it uses charge. So it uses charge, it's pretty mid, because charge, everybody knows, charge is bad, smoke is good. GG, mid ego. Bye.